Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Dance with Dragons, chapters 10 and 11, Jon and Daenerys. In these chapters, Jon wants friends and Daenerys wants dragons, but they can't have them, even though they totally can. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Now that we're back into the flow of it, who died in these chapters, Harmith?
Yeah, I think this was like our first real burst of death.
Burst of death. It's coming on the heels of us just having seen Macbeth last night, so it's a lot of death that we've consumed recently.
True. Oh my god. I started thinking about Macbeth and got distracted. Okay, wait. Away from the play, back to the series. Okay. They killed Mance Rayder. Whoa. And then, okay, I don't think anyone else died in that chapter. And then in Dany's chapter, boy, oh boy, let me try to remember exactly who died, but there was a bunch of deaths here too. Okay, wait, what even happened in Dany's chapter? Oh, the Miss Sandy's brother,
Yeah.
and then 8 other people got killed by the
Sons of the Harpy.
Yeah, them, the boy band,
boy band. That is so...
Hey, they're the Sons of the Harpy boy band.
Sure.
Direct translation. That 8 people got killed there, and then I feel like there was more, but I'm just not remembering it.
I also feel like there was more that I'm not remembering. We'll come across it.
Well, all the people who died trying to tame her dragons and get them down there and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is wild.
Yeah. Okay. Good remembering. So I've been reading, instead of reading these chapters in a chunk, because of all that construction, my commute has been basically doubled going to work. So I've been reading 10-15 minutes at a time. Or sometimes I can only focus for 5, but I've been reading it in bits and pieces. So some parts I remember really well, and some parts I'm they'll come to me as we come across them.
Oh my god, dude.
Okay, so what did you think of these chapters?
They were good. I had a good time. I finally got my Jan? That's crazy. Jon Dany dreams.
Janny, is that their shipping name?
Apparently. That came out of nowhere. Yeah. I guess it even works if he's half Targaryen. In fact, it's probably even more normal.
But it's Jan spelled like Jaen.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that is weird, because when we nickname Dany, we're not putting Daeny, and then it always fucks with me when I think about Dany versus Daenerys, because there's that E that shows up. That's not in the nickname.
Yeah.
Anyway, fandom, what are we doing?
Well, it's George R. R. Martin who does it,
Right.
He's the one who refers
do they call
to her
Dany in here?
He always calls her Dany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the first chapter from book 1.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, for some reason in my head it was
it does feel we just started doing that, but no, that's her
oh, okay, so that's on
him. Nickname, yeah.
Okay, so that's on you, George. Come, explain. But no, I had a good time. Jon's chapter was good. Dany's chapter was good, but sad.
Yeah.
No, I had fun. These were good.
Okay. So will you please summarize them for us?
I will try.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Jon.
okay, Mance gets burned, people get let in, like the free folk, or they can flee, their choice. Lightbringer, be lighten, weird. He's like, oh, I want to go have dinner with my friends. Actually, I can't. Ugh, this is the fate I've chosen for myself. I could have married a beautiful goddess. What does he do at the end?
Dude, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like something else must have happened, right?
Okay, well, Daenerys.
Okay, Daenerys. Okay, dragons be locked up. Two of them. One of them did not get locked up. He ran, who knows where, flew, whatever. Flied away. Missandei's brother and 8 other people got killed by the harpy in the night. Wait, she does other stuff. Hold on.
Talks to
They got killed.
Barristan.
Oh yeah, she talks to Barristan and she's like,
Has sex dreams about Dario.
yes. And
All
she's
right,
like,
that's
oh
way
my
over
God.
a minute. That might have been our weakest effort yet.
I don't think so.
You think we've done worse?
No. I think that was perfectly average.
Okay. Wow, them be damning words. Okay, John, let's just get into it before we wander off somewhere again.
Let's do it. Yeah. I don't think there's anything in this chapter that I have to say before we just cover it.
Right.
Like,
okay.
They were pretty tame, you know?
Tame, sure.
Like, in terms of, like, emotional shock value and shit, like...
You weren't shocked at Mance dying, then?
Like, yeah, but I guess it was kind of set up.
Right.
For, like, 5 pages.
I was
so I got
shocked
used to the
because,
idea of him dying.
John, put myself in, previous mindset. Like, I wasn't shocked this time because I knew it was happening. But, because... in the last chapter or the chapter before, or some chapter, John has that conversation with Melisandre and he's like, you shouldn't burn Mance. And she's like, you know what? I kind of agree with you. And then this chapter, she seemed to be at the head of the show and just going with it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, she can totally convince Stannis, right? She's got all this power. But I guess.
Well, maybe there's a component of oh my God, he's Lightbringer, maybe I'm reading the flames wrong, whatever.
Right.
But maybe there's also maybe that was just manipulating John, like we said earlier. Maybe she didn't mean that. I don't know, though. I didn't think about that.
Right. Yeah. So that's why it was a little surprising to me, because it just opens right with oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was a little huh? I did. I just feel I don't know. I just assumed John would try to oppose it more, but...
Right. Well, okay, so the chapter does open with, so they're bringing Mance Rayder basically naked, just he's got one thin tunic. First they're trying to kill him of of the cold, and then they're trying to burn him. Let the man rest. Just...
Yeah.
It's too much. And John's like, oh, they could have at least let him keep his crimson silk patched cloak, because,
Mm-hmm.
But of course that's the symbol of his betrayal, so all of that, obviously he can't have it. But also, if you're trying to burn all the symbols, why not burn that? I don't know.
Good. Yeah.
So John flashes back to trying to convince Stannis one last time, hey dude, he knows the haunted forest, he knows what we're fighting, he has sway over all these people. And he had the chance to blow the horn of Joramun, but he didn't because he understands the importance of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just say ball? Of the wall. But we need him, and obviously Stannis is nope, this is one of those hills that I will die on. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Stannis can be so tiresome.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know all the Stannis defenders who came out of the woodwork that one chapter?
There's still a lot of Stannis defenders. I think we just are somehow... We're just not charmed by him, but a lot of people are.
Yeah, okay. And that's... I'm gonna say something so self-deprecating, but often I'm like, oh my God, I suck, whatever, And
often? What? Okay.
no, pause, right? Often I'm like, I suck. And then sometimes what that causes me to do is like, obviously I love and respect my friends, like, duh. But then sometimes I'm kind of like side-eyeing my people because I'm like, y'all can be friends with anyone and you're friends with me.
What? That is. We
No,
need to
no, no,
talk
but
about
it's like,
this at
no,
some
no, no,
other
no, no,
time.
no, no, but
In
it's like
depth.
funny. No, but it's like funny because it's like, these are people that I'm like constantly fangirling over, but then I'm like, oh wait, you're friends with me? That's an ick. Like, isn't
What?
that funny conceptually? Like, you know?
They should be
Um,
so lucky as to be friends with you. Put that
okay,
on
wait.
your wall.
Oh my god, thank you. No, but there was a reason I bring that up. Wait, what did you just say? It
People
related.
of Stannis, we do not.
Yes, and that's the way that and that's the way that I think I feel about Stannis sometimes. Where like I was about to give the same. Obviously, they can't see me side eyeing, but I was about to give the same side eye that I'm like, you're friends with me, and
You like
in that same tone,
Stannis?
exactly in that same tone with the same. And the reason I say it's funny and not like, oh my god, Harmit, you need help, which might also be true, but in this case it's fine, is because I'm like, oh, like, I can understand Stannis's merit, like, conceptually. I'm just not there emotionally, you know? So
Right.
it's like the same, like, I get that people like Stannis, and I don't think that they're, like, dumb for that, but I'm still gonna side-eye it, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, all the Stannis defenders who were popping off when we asked you to pop off here. How do you think about this decision?
Yeah. What? Yes, actually, that's a good. Let's make it specific. Like this
Yeah,
particular decision to kill Mance.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
defend
because
that, you
we've heard their
suckers.
other defenses, you
Yeah.
know? We've heard and we have not yielded. Let's hear this one. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Okay, fair enough. So they're putting on this whole big show. It's like a real production. Like more dramatic than Macbeth was last night even.
Oh my
All
god.
it's one witch instead of three, but like she's doing the work of like 20. So
So true. Oh my god.
yeah, and she's like, we choose good or we choose evil, we choose the true god or the
Yeah.
false. She's doing all of her thing.
Yeah, she's like, we make our choices. This is what man says.
Yeah. And so they're like marching Mance up to the thing. At first he's smiling,
Mm-hmm.
and then he sees the cage, and then he's like, oh my god, no, this is not right. I'm not the king. And just
did this boy think he was gonna be freed or something finally?
yeah, like why
no-
was he like, I'm gonna go out with dignity, but then once you see the fire, like, I mean, I can't say I would hold any any courage if I were faced with burning to death, you know?
Yeah, I guess I would have expected him to kind of come in stoic. I guess I just would have expected after being locked up for so long, he would have kind of seen this coming. But maybe like he thought like they were just taking him on a walk, or like they were finally gonna free him, or like he was just gonna go have a conversation with Stannis or something.
Right. Yeah, like the smile is really off, right? Like the stoic makes sense. The smile is like, have you been drugged? Like, what's going on here, dude? Yeah. Like he is not like they shut him up, like they are basically they've got a rope across his like tied around his neck, so like they're pulling him by this, so he can't even finish what he's saying because they're just like choking him out. It's really bad. And they've also got the horn of Joramun that he had, and you know, it's got all the carvings and everything, and they're burning that too. And they do successfully burn this. What did you think about that? Like, is the wall safe now that this horn no longer can be blown?
I don't know, bro, cuz like I just feel like something's so powerful. Like, sure, they burnt it. Is it like the magic that like burnt it? You know, like,
Right.
But like, I guess I'm just like, how could this be so simple?
Right. I actually agree with you, because my personal theory is that the horn that John found at the Fist of the First Men is actually the horn, and this is like a secret horn or like a fake horn, because even Ygritte,
Right.
like, who wasn't, she was like in the know, but she wasn't like
Yeah.
high in the leadership of the free folk. She was like, we
Yeah.
never found it. So, and then all of a sudden Mance produces this horn and is like, this is the one. But maybe there's multiple horns, and I don't know.
Yeah, because I know you'd given me a bunch of theories after like at the end of the third book, you'd started just giving me theories, thankfully.
Right.
What was the one about the, like, where there was like the dragon glass and there was the horn and all the things, like, was that
Dude,
like,
I don't remember exactly.
okay, did we have a theory that, like, maybe maybe Mance did that because it was his old cloak or something, like, did we have a theory that it was Mance, or were we like it was
Who was
Brynden,
Mance?
the person, like the Night's Watch person who left the cloak and the horn
right.
and the
I don't
dragon
remember what we
glass?
decided on, but we like discussed various possibilities.
Okay, cool.
Like, we were
'Cause
like,
I was
maybe,
like,
I don't know, like, what's his, Benjen who left
right,
it there. But it
yeah.
was like, it has
Oh,
been
I said
there for a
Brandon.
long time. So
Yeah.
maybe, like, the Children of the Forest left it there, which, like, makes
Right.
that horn being the horn more, like, a bigger deal, because the Children of the Forest are,
Right.
like, the magic folk,
Yeah.
you know? So we don't,
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think we came to any particular conclusion, but there's a lot of mystery
Okay.
surrounding that, and I agree with you that this horn, went off without a big blast.
Yeah.
So it seemed too
Exactly.
easy.
I wonder if, like, because if it had, because I know you said we kind of concluded it had been there for a while, but did a while have to be like
Thousands
a
of
while?
years, or
Well, yeah, or could it have been
well,
when
it
Mance
was
first
wrapped
deserted?
in like a black cloak. So like cloaks can rot away. So like if the cloak was still there, I don't know if thousands of years could have passed, but maybe.
Okay, so it wasn't like 1,000 years ago the Children of the Forest hid it safely. Or maybe they did, but then someone found it and then put it back or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so then maybe my leading theory is that it was Mance, like, earlier in the days he found it.
Okay.
And honestly, it doesn't even have to be that early.
So
like,
why didn't he bring that to the wall when he was trying to like get across the wall?
maybe it was like too powerful of a weapon, and he was like, if needed, I can go back and get it. Because
So
how
in the
far away
meantime,
was
I'll
that?
use this prop. Oh, like Fist of the First Man. It's far. Like it's not that
Okay,
close to
right.
the wall.
It took them a while to get there. Yeah.
Or maybe
Okay,
he got
yeah.
to the fist and he looked for it, and John had already taken it. So then,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just, like, because he understands the importance of like the wall and shit, so I guess maybe he was worried about it getting into the wrong hands. He was like, worst case scenario, I don't know. I'm not sure.
okay. Interesting. All right, let's.
Okay, wait, who did we put the horn back, or does John have it now?
Sam has it because John gave it to Sam along with like
yes.
all the dragon glass daggers and everything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Slay.
So I think in Feast for Crows, Sam still has it like on his journey. So it's probably in Old Town now, you know?
Oh my god, nice. Okay.
Okay, so there's a lot of, there's flame, there's fire, there's all this boring stuff, right? Not boring stuff. It's very intriguing, but like not worth talking about on the podcast necessarily. It's John's thinking about how Stannis is apparently waiting until the Night Fort is ready to then get his queen and daughter to come hang out and do all that. Melisandre is like speaking to the free folk and telling them to side with good, and the fire is swirling and it's got green and yellow fire, which I'm like, are they using like wildfire in there? What's going on with the green, you know?
Yeah.
And Mance Raider is like not like, he's losing it in his cage, and what is it? He's clawed at the noose about his neck with bound hands and screamed incoherently of treachery and witchery, denying his kingship, denying his people, denying his name, denying all that he had ever been. And yeah, he shrieked for mercy, cursed the Red Woman, and began to laugh hysterically. Just like the denying his kingship, denying his people, denying his name, denying all he had ever been is just like, it's such an undoing. Like, they're not just like killing him, they're like killing even his like image in the eyes of the free folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Night's Watch, like, more than half of the Night's Watch is also there, because John's, like, trying to make a big showing, because they know that at the end of this, it's, like, the ceremony to get the free folk to cross through the wall, and we gotta be like, we're strong, don't fuck with us, like, all of that. Yeah. And he's also like, they're here, but I made sure that they're, like, all, like, hooded and everything so that people can't see that they're inexperienced or old or unable to
that was
fight.
kind of funny.
I mean, yeah. It's kind of like when they did those, like, they set up those scarecrows on the top of the wall to make it look like there were more Night's Watchmen than there really were.
Oh my god.
And
John's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah. He's then reflecting on sending Sam and Gilly and Eamon and all of them away, and that he's been learning about all the storms that have been racking the Narrow Sea, and he's like, oh, did I send them to their deaths instead of to safety? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And he's remembering, so he's now having, like, in addition to Ygritte's dying dreams, he's also having dreams of Sam drowning and Gilly weeping tears of blood, and it's just,
yeah,
too much.
It's also so interesting to me that it literally is like, it had not been his arrow, but in his dreams it always, like, the need to, like, specifically outline that, like, is that just to illustrate that he's so like, oh my god, it could not have been my arrow or else I will go die in a hole, like, you know? Is it just his, like, extreme...
Or is it George R. R. Martin being like, it was not his arrow, you assholes, stop making up theories about that, like...
Oh, right, because there was time I always forget that there was, like, actual time between these books to
like,
influence...
ages.
Yes.
Children grew and married and died in the time that...
Stop!
This is, like, some long winter that we're living through.
Oh my god. Dude, when we started these books, and it was, like, 2020 or some shit, and it was, like, and I think, like, and it was, like, super, we'd, like, just come out of, like, a cold winter. We were literally
in our teens. Can you...
No, I didn't need to know that.
We were too young.
That's none of my business. That's none of my business. But yeah, I was, like, 20, whatever. 2020, not I was 20. But, like, it was, what was I saying? Oh, and we'd, like, just come out of a cold winter, and then we're reading about these people who were talking about how winter is endless, and I was like, well, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? That was basically my reaction, because I was like, well, yeah, Manitoba, like,
yeah, big
winter.
Deal.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is a plot point, and then you were like, yeah, and I was like, oh. Like, it genuinely, I think it took me so long to grasp that was, like, a thing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh yeah, winter, duh, we all know winter here, don't we? Like... Yeah.
No, I didn't help with my impatience for you to just get it. Like, I was like, why don't you just get it?
Yeah, you were like, do you see how their winters are a little bit longer? Bran's only seen one.
Yes, I do remember doing that shit. I was so annoying at the beginning. And I know I am still annoying, but I think I was a lot more annoying at the beginning.
I think you were a bit more unforgiving at the beginning. You were very, like, headmaster core at the beginning, you know? Like, very, like, you're in a British boarding school right now, and, like, they're gonna, like, hit you if you don't get the answer.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I never hit you, so I can...
No, yes, but
I'm just
berated
the energy. You. Incessantly.
Yes, it's okay. It was good.
Okay, so back to this.
Yes.
This is when John...
Wait, question. Is Mance, like, okay? Like, are we sure he's okay? Because between,
he's
like,
dead now, so what do you mean?
No, like, between the smiling and, like, I don't know, I guess in my mind, I fell for, like, the he's a king propaganda, but in my mind, it just was, like, he would have been a bit more composed, like, not to make fun of a dying man.
So you feel like this was kind of, like, out of character for him to do this?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm like, did y'all, like, put him on some drugs before bringing him out here? Like, what is going on, you know?
Interesting.
yeah, it just didn't totally feel right.
Do you think we'll ever find out if it was anything like that?
I don't think so. I think if it would have to be like Melisandre's dying moment or something.
Okay.
Like all of her confessions. She's like, Anna, drug mance.
So it's gonna be like a random, like just one Melisandre POV, but it's her dying, and then her
Giving us
revealing
all
the plot for the entire
Oh my god.
story.
Dude, I would kill for that. If she was like book 5 epilogue, and then she just dies. Iconic.
So you would kill her for that, then?
I would, exactly. Oh my god, okay. Yes.
Speaking of killing, Jon has seen enough, and he's already planned this ahead of time, and I applaud him for this. Because this, like, burning someone to death, that, like, no matter what anybody has done, nobody deserves that. And, yeah, so he's got archers among his Night's Watch people, and he tells them he just says now, and they know what to do, and they all, like, take their stance, shoot some arrows, and Mance dies. Like, so that is how Mance actually dies instead of, like, being burned alive. But he did get a little crispy before before we got to this point.
Please.
But I guess, like, you know, better at this point than never, so yeah. And then Jon says, and now his watch is done. And it's kind of like him reaffirming to himself that he had the right to execute Mance because Mance was a traitor to the watch. It's not Stannis's thing to do this.
Yeah.
So but of course Stannis is unhappy. He's scowling.
And even like the song that he was thinking of is very like, it's like it doesn't make up for, but it's kind of like in opposition to the, you know, the thing of like him denying his kingship, him denying everything he'd done, blah blah blah. But then I feel like the song is kind of another way to be like, no,
which song
he did
was
a ton of shit. Sorry?
Which song was that? Remind me.
Brothers, oh brothers, my days here are done. Dornishman's taken my life. What does it matter? For all men must die, and I've tasted the Dornishman's wife.
Oh,
like,
yes.
I feel like it also just was like, sure, he's dead now, but like, he did shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a nice way to counteract, like, you know, his dying moments. And I feel like, and like both of those things were kind of Jon and the way Jon sees Mance.
And I'm trying to remember, did Mance sing that song to Jon? Because we know that Mance was a singer, you know?
I'm not sure. He might have. I don't remember any of the specifics.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay,
yeah.
So Stannis is unhappy, but Melisandre just continues right on along because the show must go on at any cost. And then this is when she's like, behold the glory of the true king, and she, like, you know, this is when Lightbringer grows bright and all of that. And of course later Jon sees that passage that Maester Aemon left for him, which is like, Lightbringer was also super duper hot, so like this sword be glowing, but it don't be warming anything. And yeah, they do the whole thing like, oh, here are the gates, you are welcome if you know, swear fealty, bend the knee, all of that. And you'll be welcome. And of course Jon's like, yeah, like, is it really much of a choice if the choice is like, do this or die? So he's reflecting on that. But of course, so like people start like, at first they're hesitant, of course, because they don't know if this is a trick. A few people like go on, and when they realize, oh yeah, they actually do let us through, and they don't know what's happening on the other side, but they just kind of trust that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And so the free folk, these are the ones they had like penned into like literal, they had pens made for people where they were holding them on the north side of the wall, and now they're letting them through, and it's like, okay, to go through you have to burn a piece of weirwood. And it's you know, it's largely symbolic, and some people straight up refuse, which, yeah, I don't know, like, I mean, we've seen of like all the gods. Well, maybe like R'hllor, I don't know. The old gods seem to have some kind of power, right?
Yeah.
Especially with
Yeah.
like Bran and the three-eyed crow and all of that stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just burning trees. That's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, like, what would you choose in this situation?
I don't know, bro, but I get the hesitancy because
Yeah.
it's like, it's like your religious stuff, and you don't want to be like, I have to convert religions to like become safe. But then
Mm-hmm.
also, like, if religion was gonna, like, if because of your religion, you're like, religion was what was gonna save me, and then now you've left your religion, but now your body's safe, like, that sucks, you know? Because now you're not gonna feel, like, mentally, emotionally, spiritually safe, you know?
Right.
But then also, like, even if I wasn't that religious, I just wouldn't want to fuck with the weirwoods. Like I've said
Right.
before, those bitches are sentient and I don't trust them. Like,
Fair enough.
yeah. But also, like, I wouldn't make it out there alone, you know?
That's true. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like I think at the end it's like 90% of the people choose to go through with it, but
Fair.
there's this one guy who at first like he like takes the stick but then uses it to fight, so then they kill him, and then everybody has to like walk over his corpse, and after they do that there's fewer people going to the wall because
Oh,
obviously
dude.
they're like, oh, these people, they be killing. um
Yeah.
so, and then they're like, John's like noticing that there's like a young woman who's like stumbling away with a couple of kids, and she's like, looking back every few steps to make sure nobody's following them, and then just like makes a straight up run for it once she gets to the woods. And like there's a lot of stuff happening. um and in terms of like the kneeling, so all the like leaders have to kneel, and the first one to do that is Sigorn, who's the new Magnar of Then.
Mm-hmm.
um and then Rattleshirt also kneels, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And
Shout out.
yeah. And remember how, so he calls himself the Lord of Bones, and then Rattleshirt apparently his like he just doesn't have another name. Remember when we were super shocked to learn that he doesn't have a name, or at least I was super shocked to learn that doesn't have a name outside of this.
Right. Oh
Um
my god.
and oh, also Val, they've got her up on the platform, and obviously she's not happy, but she won't let them see it. Like she just stands there kind of
Mm-hmm.
embodying that stoic demeanor
Yeah.
that we might have expected of Mance.
Mm-hmm.
But of course she's not the one being burned here, so like let's, keep that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And of course John had also warned Stannis to not make them do this because the free folk despise kneelers. And he was like, let
Mm-hmm.
them keep their pride and they'll still serve you. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
need them to fight for you. You don't need them to love you. Oh no, no, sorry. No, I said that the wrong way. So John said that they would love you better if you let them keep their pride. And then Stannis's
Mm-hmm.
comeback was that I just need them to fight, I don't need them to love me. Which is kind of
Yeah.
like, that fatal mistake you make, which is like, as leaders, you got to strike a balance between people like fearing your authority but also respecting and loving you. And he's just
Mm-hmm.
going hard on one side of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I think in John's last chapter, we were talking about how I think one of us made a joke. I don't think we actually meant this, but I kind of maybe mean it now. I don't know if we meant it, but like how Stannis kind of became John's surrogate dad at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I also kind of see it. I also feel like it's kind of leaking into John's strategy too a little bit. Like I feel like now he's sort of like, I have to be stoic and I have to, and of course that's like Eddard too. Like Eddard had his weird lines where we were like, buddy, come on, let
Right.
go of the honor for 1 minute, you know. But like just him being like, oh, I can't go sit with my friends, you know. It just feels very like he's really channeling his Stannis unbent, unbroken energy.
Yeah. So there's like, okay, let's talk about this at the end. Okay. So we're
Okay.
put a pin in that, talk about John's, like, I can't have friends thing, okay?
Okay. Okay.
So for now, the free folk are being let through, and then they're being fed on the other side. They've got clothes and beds and fires for them and all of that. My question was, who is funding all of that? Like, did Stannis bring all this stuff with him? Or is he, like, taking the watch's supplies?
I don't know.
Right? Like, I'm always about the logistics. Like, how is this actually... Because winter is coming, and how are they going to be, like, feeding all these people now that they've got them?
Right. I guess maybe a bit of both. Like, maybe it is... Like, obviously it's, like, the watch's supplies. Like the bowls and shit. And, like, the location. So probably, like the fires... Get the fires going. Using the watch's stuff. But, like, I would assume that, like, Stannis be helping out.
My question is, does he himself have the resources to help out? Because remember how Salador San was just real mad because he ain't getting paid?
Right. I guess I just assumed that one of the reasons he wasn't paying people back was so he could have, like, a working budget.
Okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, I don't know, so we'll see. So then...
Like, I know they say to pay off your debt first, but
Yeah.
but maybe he's like, this is more important right now, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like, if he has any money, he should, like, use it to feed his people first before paying off his debts. But, like,
yes.
I'm like, does he even have that? That's my question.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So then, while John's, like, kind of... It takes, like, all day for this to wrap up. And as John's, like, telling everybody to, like, okay, take down the pens, like, wrap it up, just, let's get going. Bowen Marsh, who's, like, the head steward, comes and talks to him, and he's like, this is, I don't know if this is a good idea, dude. And so he's thinking about how Alistair Thorne has been a little bit less, rowdy since Janos Slynt has lost his head, but he's not completely lost his malice yet. And John had thought about giving him Greyguard, since Slynt obviously was dead, but he's like, you gotta keep your enemies close. So he sent, like, some other, like, a grizzled steward from the Shadow Tower to take command at the Greyguard. So that's just, like, a thing. I just like to point out whenever there's, like, this person's in charge of this now. I just like to know what's going on in the world. Okay. So they've got, people are going through, the tunnel is narrow and twisting, which I'm like, why does it have to be twisting? I guess for security's sake, but I have, like, the tunnel from the show in my head, which is just, like, a straight line.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, that's funny.
But, like, yeah, anyway. So once they're wrapping up, there's 4 giants remaining among, like, the few people. And one of them won't leave his mammoth, and the others won't leave him. So they all go off into the woods, which is like
really
sad
cute.
and cute and just all of the things.
Yeah, that's adorable. Ugh.
Yeah. Maybe they could, like, keep the mammoth on the north, but, like, you know, you can visit him every day or something.
Aww.
Yeah, or, like, take the mammoth across, like, go to Eastwatch and then just take him across the sea a little bit, you know?
Oh my god, go on a little adventure. Yeah, I don't know if the excuse of I need to go feed my mammoth is gonna fly with Stannis every day.
Right.
Or I need to go visit my mammoth.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Also Melisandre's, like, got her people doing these chants, like, repeating after her, and all I could think was, like, how did that work the first time? You know, like, when Melisandre showed up, she was like, okay, when I say this kind of thing, repeat after me. Like, how, like, okay. For example, like, in, you know, churches and religious places, like, you go, there are times where people repeat after, but that's because the way you learn is, like, say you're a kid or you go there for the first time, everybody else does it, so you know to do it the next time, right?
Right, yeah.
But, like, Melisandre was a whole new person, like whole
Oh
new
my
religion to
God.
these people. How did they know to repeat
Right.
after these things? Like, did they have like
Ah,
rehearsals? Like, what is this?
stop.
What is the
That's
behind the
funny. I
scenes of
just
this?
assumed it was like her first few Queensmen. She was like, "Okay, hear me out when I
So,
say
like,
this.
there
You
was a
say this
training
and this."
session, right? For some people, if not for all.
I think for only like the OGs, and then it just was like the congregation just picked it up.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just it was kind of
When I say Stannis, you say one realm, one god, one king.
yes.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Okay, so back to Bowen Marsh, who's come up to John to talk. So he's like, people are not happy, because this is like, we've been fighting the free folk for a while now, and like now we're letting them in. Like, this is not how it works. And John's like, well, they're gonna be we promised to protect the realm and they're gonna be part of the realm, so just get over it. And he's trying to be like, also remember, we're fighting the White Walkers, we're not necessarily fighting the free folk. And he's like, okay, I grant you that is true, but now that most of them have come through, go ahead and like close up the tunnels so that nobody else can get through. And John refuses. So this was interesting because, okay, I hope I'm not making this up and I'm actually remembering a thing that was a thing. When John came back to the wall and he was accused of being a traitor and all of that, and he was like, yeah, I slept with a wildling, and also I went over to their side and I did all these things, but it was because I needed to. And here's the intelligence I bring you. They're coming to attack. What you should do is seal the tunnels. And at that time, I think they had made the same argument, which was like, we need to be able to go on the other side and all of that. And they didn't listen to him. And then they like had that whole battle and it was very tough and all of that, right? And Donald Noy lost his life because of it. And now Bowen Marsh is making the exact same argument, and John is making the other people's argument. Like, at that time, I think they were also just making that argument to spite John because nobody liked John.
Right.
But I wanted John to like reflect on the fact that at one point he also thought this was a good idea, and like,
right.
what is the, like, consider both sides a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You
that's
remember that
true.
being a thing, right? Like, I'm not just making
No.
it up. Okay. You don't remember it?
I don't remember it, but
Okay.
might have been a thing.
Well, oh well. So,
Yeah.
if that's a thing, I just wanted John to reflect on it, and if it's not, then my bad. But it's, yeah, like, if you close the wall, that makes it even more secure against the others. But also, we know that it's not just like the physical wall that's preventing the others, it's like the actual magic behind it.
Yeah.
So, like, by closing the tunnels, you're really just keeping out the people, not the zombies. So, yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because then it also seems like John was getting swayed a little bit back to the other direction, so I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, not Mance Raider, what's his name? Bowen Marsh, is like, yeah, like, if we're fighting people from the top of the wall, we have the, upper hand, but if they get through the tunnel, then, like, it's hard for us to keep them out. And John's like, nope, we need to send out rangers and know what's going on out there and all of those things. And, yeah, it's... Bowen Marsh, like, yeah, like, the last time we sent, Lord Commander Mormont went down with his ranging, things didn't end well. And also, people don't like how friendly you are with Stannis.
Oh my god.
And I kind of see their point. But also, I don't know what else John can do.
Unfortunately, I mean, he's here and we're kind of stuck here.
Yeah. And John's like, yeah, what else would these people who say I'm too friendly have me do? Like, I can't kill him. I gave him hospitality, and also we owe him a debt. And he's like, yeah, but just let's make sure we don't choose the losing side here. And John's like, well, we don't know which side will be the losing side, given that Tywin is dead. So, in Davos's chapter, we learned he was like, I want to make sure they hear this. And now they have heard this, by the way. So just like,
nice.
Continuation of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Bowen Marsh is like, well, like people liked Robert, and they like a lot of people think Tommen is his son, so they're more likely to be on his side than Stannis is. And he's making all those arguments, and Jon's like, okay, you know what? I will think about it. Thank you for your counsel. So that ends that. And then he walks back through the wall to the south side with Ed Tullett. And Ed's like, oh, there's a lot going on here. It sucks that they have to give up, we hack their gods apart and make them burn them to pieces, but we gave them onion soup. What's a god compared to a nice bowl of onion soup?
Oh my god.
And so he gets to the other side, and he's
very
like,
cook core of him.
Yeah, cook. He's not a cook. He always knows all the food things. I think it's like a foodie core. I don't know if he actually cooks.
Oh, wait, then who wasn't it? Him? Wasn't he like besties with a cook? No,
there's another guy who's the cook. I don't remember his name.
Damn.
There's a different person who's the cook, but Ed Tullett is a steward, and specifically, he's now Jon's steward.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And so Jon gets through, and he's smelling all the food and stuff, but he's like, it's the company I crave, not food. So let me go sup with the men this evening. Like, he even makes that decision. And Ed's like, oh, yes, Hobb's the guy who's the cook. He's got boiled beef and beets, and, but no horseradish, so it'll be a little lackluster. And so he goes down to the vault, which is it was nice to see the description of this space again, because it's really given like tavern pub vibes, like with the wine casks and everything on the sides.
And then Jon comes in and completely wrecks the vibe.
Yeah, apparently so.
Me when I'm like a fucking narc, but I'm also the person who I narc too. Like, shut up, Jon.
Yeah, so there's like people, there's rangers, there's king's men, there's all types of people. And Pip and Gren and his friends are sitting at a table, and Pip is like making joke. He's like, the night is dark and full of turnips and all of that. And Jon does not laugh at that.
But it was so fun.
It was funny.
He's such a vibe wrecker. Come on, Jon. Yeah.
He's like, making mock of another man's prayer is fool's work. God.
Shut the fuck up, Jonathan. Leave.
And Pip is like, well, she won't leave our gods alone, so why should we leave hers? Which is a good point, but obviously Jon's like, well, I can't command her, but I can command you, so shut up. And at this, Pip hopped to his feet and gave Jon a mocking bow. I beg pardon. Henceforth I shall not even waggle my ears, save by your lord's lordly leave.
We're always doubting that Jon... Well, yeah, no. Jon is... No, that was a bad way to explain, but what I'm trying to say... Jon is so Ned's kid, because this is the same can't take a joke that Ned is.
When could Ned not take a joke?
I don't know, but I just remember him always being way too serious, even when people would be japing.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jon could have been like, that is funny, but let's keep it to ourselves and not do it in a room full of other people. He could have really
Or he literally could have pretended like he didn't hear it and just been like, hey chaps, what should we doing?
Yeah, I just this is when he's like, I can't eat here. He wanted nothing more. No, he had to tell himself, those days are gone. A lord may love the men that he commands, he could hear his lord father saying, but he cannot be a friend to them. Which, okay, Ned may have said that, but I want to remind you of something else Ned used to do, which we learned of in Game of Thrones, which is he would invite his people to eat dinner with him.
Literally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
so Jon, you're just picking whatever you feel suits the situation and ignoring all the rest.
And you can't just take a quote out of context. It doesn't mean don't be friends with the people, it means like you have to make sure that you don't get lost in the friendship. You have to make sure that you don't let the friendship bias you. Like, like he's saying, unfortunately, you can't just be a friend to the people anymore. He's not saying you can't be a friend, period. Like, literally, a little discernment, buddy. Just a little.
Yeah, so he's like, I gotta work, and then he leaves, and I just wanted to, like, slap some sense into him, but whatever. So he, like, marching, he's like, you know, what's, like, emo walking across the yard, and he is thinking, he like, sees Val up on her tower, and,
he multiple times in this chapter is like, oh, look at her elegance. Could have married her, but I had to fuck that up.
Yes, she's very pretty and elegant and all the things, but he said no.
Lonely and lovely also, and like, lethal.
Which, like, he's never like, did she even consent to me, like, saying yes to me, like, before?
Yeah.
You know, I guess he's just like, well, we could have seen what happened. Maybe she would have taken me.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Okay, so she is, you know, she's been putting up a fight. She's not going along with everything. She scorns all her jailers as kneelers, had twice attempted to escape, and also stabbed a guy in the neck with his own dagger, which somehow he survived, which, like...
Oh my god.
I was like, oh, he didn't? I guess. Okay, cool. Lonely and lovely and lethal, he describes her as.
That's kind of hot.
Well, then go befriend her, John. Like,
that's genuinely what I thought he was gonna go do. But then he
instead, he goes to the rookery and talks to what's his name, Clytus, who is like, you know, the Maester stand-in, because Maester Aemon is gone and Sam is gone, and this is the only guy we got left. And oh, by the way, Ghost joins him, and he can taste blood in Ghost's mouth, and he's like, no, I'm a man, I'm not a wolf, and he's like doing that thing where he's denying this part of himself again.
Yeah.
And so Clytus is like, yeah, come in, I'm just mulling some wine. And he's like taking note of Clytus, and Clytus is also 60 years old, but compared to Maester Aemon, he's like a young boy.
And that's so funny.
Yeah, but actually, like, he's like, yeah, like, basically, this is John reflecting on, we don't have all the people that we need. Yeah, and then they toast to Stannis and his magic sword.
Okay, I have a question.
He's like, yeah.
Was Lightbringer being more, like, cool looking today, just, like, they just upped the facade?
Yeah, just, like, added a little bit more LEDs to it. Like, I don't know.
Okay, because I was like, does this mean something?
Because this was like a show, because in the past when John and everybody, it's like in a room with like 3 people in it, you know? So it doesn't need to grow that bright. Yeah. Now they were showing like 1,000 people, and it was outdoors and all of that, so
okay,
they really did need to.
Okay, that makes sense.
Bring the light show.
Because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Did they find a real sword? Like, what the fuck did he do? Why have we not heard about this?
Yeah, apparently, so he's like, his Grace is not an easy man, few are who wear a crown, and apparently Maester Aemon once told him that many good men have been bad kings, and some bad men have been good kings. And I want to know who Maester Aemon was referring to.
Yeah, who...
Because, like, we know, you know, his grandfather was a king, his dad was a king, his uncle was a king, his brother was a king, like, all of those things. And then obviously their descendants were kings, so
yeah,
which one of what I want to know is which one of them was the good man but the bad king, you know?
Yeah. My brain just went to Ned.
Was it Egg?
Egg, maybe, yeah. My brain just went to Ned, even though he was King's Hand, but same thing.
Right.
Robert was off drunk, like.
Yes.
And then bad men of good kings. I kind of wonder if maybe he's talking about his dad.
Was his dad a bad man?
He wasn't a bad man, but he was kind of annoying, you know? Like, not bad, but, maybe. Like, he was, yeah, and he didn't do anything about his shitty son.
I wonder if he's talking about Bloodraven, because Bloodraven was like, like a witchy dude, like ruthless and stuff, but he kept the kingdom under tight control. I don't know. Like, not that he was king, but he was also king of hand of king,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I also don't know. So let's move on. Folks, share your thoughts with us in the Discord or in an email, and we'll do that later. Yes, this is when, he reads the Jade Compendium and he's like, the sword was so hot that it boiled the blood, but this sword gives no heat. And he's like, this is basically him being like, this ain't no real sword, don't be fooled by it. Like, this is Maester Aemon's warning, right?
Yeah.
So then he's like, okay, cool, good night, and he leaves. Sorry. This is the part I blocked out of my head. This is the part that we were like, what does he do at the end? And we both didn't want to remember it. This is where he literally sends off all his friends to other places because he's like, I'm gonna keep only my enemies close.
Right. Yes. Even though the warning was to do the exact opposite.
Yeah. So
fucking
Halder and
dumbass.
Toad, he dispatches to the Shadow Tower, and Pip and Gren to watch by the sea. So he's got Ed left? Like, what's one person gonna do?
Yeah, you're literally like, Alistair's gonna take out a fucking sword and cut your head off, bro. Like, me when I'm a fucking dumbass.
He just, and then he's like, he rose and climbed the steps to his narrow bed. This is my lot, he realized as he undressed, from now until the end of my days. And this was so frustrating. It's like, okay, listen, I get it, but also I don't. I get it, but I really don't.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting all this, like, conflicted advice, and, he's, like, thinking about what Ned would do, but also about Maester Aemon said about kill the boy, and what, like, Stannis is thinking and doing, and there's a lot going on, and once again, he is 16, if that. I think we, like, forget, because, he's the Lord Commander, Daenerys is queen, like, all these things, but, like, these are literal children.
Yeah.
Who should not have to make these decisions. But the fact that they are making the bad decisions is frustrating, and it's being like, yeah, this is just, I can't have no friends, I just gotta be sad all the time. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I just, like, this was just some fucking, like, you really did not have to do this. This was not, like...
But this was also, like, reminding me of, like, my deep depression days, because, like, my like falling into depression patterns are like isolating myself from all the people I know.
Right.
Like, I stopped like answering texts, I just stopped talking to people and all of those things. So am I like, is he like depressed? And honestly,
I mean,
I can see that being true.
Yeah.
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 You were gonna say something that I interrupted too. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay, I don't remember. No, it's okay. Yeah, I was like, John, you silly bastard. It's kind of my whole take on the situation.
Yeah. Okay. So predictions. Okay, he's leaving. He's making his friends leave him. He's like dividing and conquering his friends instead of his enemies. It's like the opposite of what needs to be done.
Oh my god.
So Alistair Thorne's still around, like Donald Noy's got his concerns. Like all the people that are not fully, like,
Yeah.
Well, you were concerned that maybe his friends like Pip and Gren were the ones that were gonna like stab him in the back. So now that they're maybe going far, so is that concern assuaged a bit?
I think so, yeah. But also, like, if he brings them back soon, or like something happens and like, oh, we got someone else for that castle, okay, we're sending them back this way, like something, I just don't think they're gonna be very warm towards him anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he's also separating them, like, yeah. It's,
well, at least he's keeping Gren and Pip
objectively
together.
A bad decision.
Yeah, send Alistair.
Yeah.
Get this boy away.
No, but he's got to keep his enemies just, like, right in his ass.
He's got to protect them with his shit.
That was way too graphic. For both of us. Okay. Um, predictions. Okay, so Mance Raider is dead. The Free Folk are like a lot of them are on the other side of the wall now. How's that gonna go?
I think there's gonna be a lot of fighting. I think there's gonna be a lot of
Okay.
issues.
What about the settling of the gift?
I think they're gonna start working on that. It's gonna hopefully go well. Hopefully Stannis stops. Or no, doesn't Jon have to like tell Stannis like about the like castles or whatever? Or did we end up standing up to him about that? We didn't get any more details here.
I think he said no, you it was basically like my people will have command, but you can supply men.
Oh, right, that was the compromise. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. In terms of status, so like they were burning Mance Raider not just because he was a traitor to the Night's Watch, but also because of like the king's blood thing. And how like Melisandre was gonna raise stone dragons using his blood. Is that gonna happen?
Maybe, yeah. Let's say yes. But also, like, does it still count? Because even though he burned, Jon killed him with the thing.
Right. So maybe, like, one of those objectives can't be achieved, and she could be like, it can be her excuse for not having dragons, like, not producing dragons. Like, he didn't burn all the way. He only burned 1/3 of the way, and it wasn't enough.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because she didn't, like, maybe she's gonna do that spell in secret or something, because I feel like I was expecting her to kind of announce that, like, now that we've gotten rid of Mance.
Have like a little statue of a dragon right next to it and be like, look at come alive. Or maybe she knows it's never gonna happen, so she didn't want to like promise something that, you know?
Right.
It's one of those like, if I have all the right ingredients, it will occur, but like,
right.
She knows that she can't actually do it, so.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see a stone dragon, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Alright, so Daenerys. Okay, once again, she is woken from sleep with bad news. Is this how every Daenerys chapter is gonna like start?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this.
It is because okay, first off, there's obviously bad news, and Miss Sandy is crying, and Daenerys learns that she's crying for her brother, who is one of the people that have been killed that night. One of nine what are their name? Unsullied, who have been killed. And this has been like ramping up for a while. Like there have been a lot of deaths every night. And so far it's been like freed men who, you know, speak up too much, and the Sons of the Harpy don't like that. But now they've killed the Unsullied. And it was like a very strategic thing. They, you know, they patrol in twos, so they like attacked them in twos and knew where to get them alone and all of those things. And it's just terrible. They've arrested like one of the deaths, or two of the deaths happened in front of like a wine seller's shop, so they've arrested the wine seller. And at first Daenerys is like, yeah, question him, but like nicely. And then later she changes her mind and is like, do whatever you need to do. Even when, is it the Shape Pate who's like, yeah, I'll just, instead of torturing him, I'll torture his kids so that then he talks. Like,
dude,
she is really,
yeah,
yeah,
she's kind of changing her tune a little.
It's not a good direction for her.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's basically like, do what you need to do, basically. Torture whoever you need to, but get me who's responsible for this, which I don't know. Like, okay, so say I'm one of the Sons of the Harpy. I'm the people planning this, right? I'm not gonna do this in front of my own shop.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know how much this guy knows, and like, torture is never the answer, because people will just say shit just to stop being tortured. Like, it's been proven that torture is not a... Yeah. So, and then she's like, okay, I will no longer have my Unsullied patrolling the streets. They're just pull back to the pyramid and just guard this space. Instead, hire freedmen and Shave Pates to guard the rest of the city. It's the Marinese that'll guard Marine. And Resnak is like, yeah, but like we need money for that shit. And so the way she's gonna fund it is that she's gonna collect a blood tax from each of the pyramids. She's 100 pieces of gold from every pyramid for each freedman that the Harpy sons have slain.
Damn.
Which is okay. This is good because it's like a direct like action consequence thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's much better than ordering people to be tortured.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'll help her PR campaign in any way.
Right.
So yeah, that's what's happening. And also, okay, so then they were like, yeah, we'll do that, but also there's all these a bunch of the former masters are wanting to like escape the city, and they're probably gonna go like ally with the Yunkai and fight against you or something. So she's like, yeah, they can leave, but let's keep a couple of their kids safe for for them. So she's taking hostages from them, and you know, in the ways of Westeros, calling them cupbearers and pages, so that it's like, oh, it's a great honor, but everybody knows what's really going on.
Yeah.
So, oh, I mean, here's the thing with like hostages, right? Okay, so you take a hostage.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know actually anything about hostages. You know what? Let's not, because I think I was also going to spoil things. So let's get off of that train.
Okay. Okay, now I'm thinking. I'm curious.
So but she has decided to go the hostage route, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk more about that later.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so she dismisses them. That's like the plan for now. And she goes back to bed. She tries to comfort Miss Sandy. I don't know how to say this name, and I've heard it.
Miss Sandy's perfect.
I've heard it on the show. I've heard it in the book, like audiobook. I've heard people say it. I never know it.
Mm-hmm. It's fine, Miss Sandy.
Miss Sandy. So she is like this little baby is obviously crying for her brother, and Daenerys is like, hey, if you want to leave this awful place, I'll make sure you get a ship to your home. But Miss Sandy's like, yeah, but what if the slavers come again, and then I'll be back where I started, and at least with you I feel safe somewhat. So yeah, Daenerys is like, okay, cool. And then Miss Sandy calls her mother, and mother to us all, which is like the whole like the Misa thing. Then it's like this, yeah, Daenerys, the 16-year-old child who never had a mother of her own, is mother to like thousands of people.
and that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. Let's not give so much responsibility to 16-year-olds, but they should be allowed to vote. Sorry. I just like, I wanted to get that also on the side. I think that the voting age should be 16 because kids know what they be talking about. Like teenagers, you know, 16-year-olds. But also, they don't need to be the ones like making all the decisions. Like they need to have power, but they don't need to have all the responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's the end of my political speech today. Let kids vote, but don't make them queens. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah. So does she sleep at all? Yeah, she like tries to sleep, but it doesn't work. So then she gets up and like goes out to her like rooftop like bathing like pool area, and she's like reflecting on the city. It's like, I'm above all the people here, like I have no connection, I'm also lonely. Is she lovely, lonely, and lethal?
I guess, yeah.
And she's thinking about Dario and his swords, and what does she say? It was kind of funny. Hang on. Oh yeah, she's like thinking she's jealous of his sword hilt.
Right, I'm jealous of a sword hilt of women made of gold. Oh my god, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Her crush on this guy is so fun.
I mean, this is a 16-year-old's thoughts, you know? Like, this is
Yeah.
what she should be allowed to think of instead of all the things she has to think of.
Yeah.
So she, yeah, she, even to
Okay, but
Barris.
also, okay, I don't remember their interactions at all. He also was, like, into her, right?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay, yes. I don't remember their
Yeah, but she
interactions
can't,
at
like,
all.
marry him because he's not, like, king
Right, yes.
material.
Yeah, as she says.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because I was like, why he be fondling his sword hilt with naked women? Because I just I didn't remember him at all other than Danny's thoughts about him.
Right, okay. Fair.
Yeah.
So, but like, the fact that she goes to Barristan and is like, does he love me, or has he met another woman?
Oh my
And
god,
Barristan has
stop.
to be like, no, there can't be anyone lovelier than you.
Oh my god.
Just, it's like, this is not part of my job description. I do not get paid enough for this.
Oh my god. Me when I try to talk to my grandpa about my crushes, basically.
What?
No, like, this is like, he's like her grandpa, you know?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Not
thought you
me
were
as in
referencing
me.
like a real thing, and I was like, when did
No.
this happen?
No. No, me as in Mother of Dragons.
Okay, of course, yes. How could I not have known that? Okay. So then she goes out to the thing, and then to the thing being the pool, and she's like hanging out there for a second, but then she hears a rustle, and it's not any of her regular people. It is
Whoa.
Quaithe from, where was she from? Karth. I knew it also started with Q, but I just couldn't remember for a second. Quaithe from Karth, or Quaithe of the Shadow, actually, as she was known in Karth. And Danny saw her one time on the ship as well, if you remember.
I don't remember that.
So this was before she got to Astapor, or just as she had gotten to Astapor, or something along those lines, and Quaithe came to her and was like, you got things to do, and basically prophecy kind of thing.
Okay.
And you know, it's kind of unclear how she's clearly here in some kind of like a projection. I don't know how she's doing it. Daddy doesn't know how she's doing it, and nobody else can apparently see or hear her. So it's or is it a dream? Is it like a waking dream? Like, I don't know the logistics behind it, but magic, you know?
Yeah.
Or just
cool
like
a
Zoom call. I don't know.
It's just technology she didn't know they had.
Yeah. And this is her prophecy this time. The glass candles are burning, which we know to be true, right? We know that. This is like, you know, George R. R. Martin's regular formula for prophecies. He's going to tell you something that you know, something that is very plausible, and then something new, right? So the glass candles are burning. Soon comes the pale mare, which... Okay, let me read it and then we'll discuss it. Soon comes the pale mare, and after her the others. Kraken and Dark Flame, Lion and Griffin, the Sun's Son, and the Mummer's Dragon. Trust none of them. Remember the Undying. Beware the perfumed Seneschal. So break it down for me and give me your guesses for each of them.
Bro, you're gonna hate me. I don't have that many thoughts.
Okay, well, whatever thoughts you have.
Okay. No idea what the Pale Mare is about.
Fair.
Zero idea. I'm like, okay, it comes soon. So then I was trying to think of stuff that happened like in the fourth book that could... I'm like, what's something that we heard? But like, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with Danny that whole time. The Kraken, Dark Flame, Lion, Griffin, Sun, Mummer's Dragon. I'm like, okay, so these are all the people that are like coming to pursue her and like try and get like a...
So like, can you name them for me?
Oh, yes. Okay. Kraken, so like Victarion / Euron.
Right.
Dark Flame. Ooh, I didn't notice that one. Dark Flame. I don't know what or who Dark Flame is, so I'm gonna put a pin in that.
Okay.
Lion, Tyrion, Griffin, Quentin?
What was Tyrion's last chapter?
Oh, the Griff boy. Oh, I totally forgot he existed. Yes, him. Sun's son, Quentin.
Yeah.
Mummer's dragon. Oh, fucking Stannis and them, like the Melisandre, like maybe
why
her
are they
stone
coming
dragon.
there? We don't hear any of those plans.
I don't know. But then who could Mummer's dragon be? Because it's them.
Yeah, like,
and
what
then,
does Mummer's dragon even mean?
like, it ain't real. It's fake.
So
Didn't Euron say he was gonna come up with a dragon?
right. Okay, so Mummer's dragon, fake dragon. Could it be a fake Targaryen?
Oh my god, it could. Okay, but who's...
I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there's like all the theories about all the prophecies. I think just keep it in mind as things develop, and then we'll revisit this theory often, revisit this prophecy
Who's
often.
Dark Flame? Could that be like fucking God, what was his name?
Can you give me a place, a time?
No, give me a second, I'm getting there. Like Jacan or some shit? Because it's like, it's a Dark Flame, we don't know what he's up to, who he is. Maybe he's gonna come in and try to... Or no, oh god, what's his name? Oh my god, Mage? Maybe Mage is Dark Flame?
Oh,
I don't know, because he's also coming in.
Marvin the Mage.
Marvin guy?
Yeah, okay. Well, he is the one who lit the glass candle, so maybe, like, that's the Dark Flame part.
Yeah, maybe.
And we do know for a fact he is coming to look for Dany, like, eventually, right?
Yeah. Trust none of them. Remember the Undying? And the House of the Undying was when she got the 3-headed dragon thing. That was when she saw the red house.
Yeah.
What else did she see?
Child of 3, they called me. 3 mounts, they promised me. 3 fires and 3 treasons. 1 for blood, 1 for gold, and 1 for... She gets cut off, but it's 1 for love.
Okay.
It's like when they're trying to eat her and her dragon, but like then...
Right, yes. Okay. I think that the treason
it's
for
also,
blood...
Also, can we... Sorry. Sidetrack. Can we talk about the literal, like... the hilarity behind them making prophecies for her future as they're trying to devour her in the present. Right?
Yeah, it's like if you can see that coming, you can't see me about to kill you coming.
Yeah. Or like think about it. Okay, you're trying to eat her, but you are also like seeing all these futures for her. So who's gonna come out on top of this situation?
Right.
Like...
Yeah. That's so funny. I guess maybe it's like you get so swept up in the power of it that you're like...
I guess, or maybe the prophesizing is like, it's automatic, like it's, they can't control it, it just happens as they're devouring her.
Right.
And all they focus on is like the feeding.
Right.
Anyway, that was
maybe
creepy bunch of people or whatever they were.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it's like keep in mind the betrayals, do the things. Okay, because I think the blood betrayal, I don't know if I've said this before, but I think I have, is gonna be Tyrion, because then it'll end up being like it'll be like Lannister loyalty before Daenerys. Like, he'll flip the switch.
Okay. You did not ever say this before, because before what we had thought was like 1 for blood was like Miri Mazdur, 1 for gold was like Jorah, and 1 for love we didn't know.
Oh, I don't remember that. Okay.
That is what we previously discussed.
Okay,
because like the Tyrion thing didn't become a thing until just like 2 chapters ago.
Yes. Okay, yes, yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay, and then for love. Oh, yeah, because she's always also just waiting on the 1 for love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
That's why she's like, has, Dario betrayed me for another woman's love and all of that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, also, okay, so...
What is the Pale Mare, bro?
Okay, wait, before we get to the Pale Mare,
okay.
Beware the perfumed seneschal. So she calls Reznak, like, in her head, she's called him, like, the perfumed seneschal. But we know that seneschal isn't, like... It's just, like, title, like, for advisor. At least now we know it. Many years ago, you didn't. Okay, this was one of the... Who or what is perfumed seneschal, and you were like, is it a shawl? Is it a scarf?
I actually don't remember that. That's so funny. And then I think you were like, this is a real world word, Harmit. And I was like, okay, what's your point?
Anyway, so like it can, okay, what came to my mind the first time is like, maybe this is off, but like when Ned first goes to court at King's Landing, he talks about how Varys is like very perfumed and powdered and stuff, and he's an advisor. So like I'm like thinking just basically any and all advisors.
Okay, could this also mean like, could this be Marwyn?
Is he perfumed? I don't think we got that description of him.
Okay. Oh my god, is Varys coming, guys? Is it Illyrio?
Oh yeah. Well, Illyrio might be like a stinky seneschal, but
wait, that's true.
Well,
but he can be perfumed and stinky.
Yes, that's true. He's like, it's like he stinks and then he like over perfumes himself.
Yeah.
So yes, he could. That's true. So like this is one of those like every time you meet an advisor, you're gonna be like, are you wearing perfume, dude?
Right.
This is a scent-free zone.
Oh my god.
Dany should totally like institute a scent-free zone around her so that there is no perfumed seneschal.
Life hack. This is how she makes sure she doesn't get betrayed. Oh my god.
Okay, pale
That's
mare.
really funny.
Honestly, I don't think you can know, so there's no point in wasting time, so let's move on.
Okay, yeah, cause like I'm just thinking like who wait, could there be like okay, wait, I have a theory. You know the fucking the Kalazar guy, like her husband's
the new
cousin or some shit? Yeah, that guy. Maybe he's got a pale mare and he's coming to get his revenge.
Well,
or I don't know.
Her mare, like her horse is, or I don't know if her horse, didn't she have to kill her horse at one point, or didn't her horse die?
Maybe, yeah.
Either way, her horse was a silver horse, so that was a pale mare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, because all I can think of is Kalazar related. Coming back to haunt.
Good enough guess. Like, it's as good as it's
Especially because, wait, I'm connecting this to another guess that I have.
Okay.
Because I think that her dragon, who's left, is also heading towards Kalazar land. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's like they're coming together, and that's bad.
You can also call it the Dothraki Sea. Kalazar land. It's not Disneyland.
So maybe it's like the things tie in.
Yeah. Okay. So basically she's like, yeah, whatever with your prophecies. Can you just tell me what you mean? And as she's like trying to get this out of Quaithe, somebody interrupts them. It's Miss Andy. And Miss Andy's like, oh, who are you talking to? And Daenerys looks back and is like, there's nobody there. And then she's like, oh, I was just praying. But in her head,
is crazy.
Okay, so Quaithe, one of the things she says is like, remember who you are, right? Mm-hmm. And Daenerys is like, okay, who I am, I'm the blood of the dragon. But also, I know that some of like my genetic things mean like a little hint of insanity in there. So could I be going mad? So she's worried about that a little bit. And I'm like, well, maybe if you don't, if you're so afraid, don't tell people to torture people, like.
Right.
But what was the thing? Oh, I've just lost all my trains of thought. Okay. The other thing that Quaithe says is, not the other thing, about the remember who you are. Like, she's the blood of the dragon. She's a Targaryen, she's a dragon, all of that. And then she's got her dragons locked up in a cage. And it's a direct contradiction of that. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. That's true.
These kids be making mistakes and bad decisions, and I don't like it.
Real. Ugh.
So. Okay, she gets dressed. She doesn't want to eat. She goes down to the hall and petitions once again. One of them is from the stonemasons guild, because they're like, oh, freedmen are taking work from us and claiming that they're journeymen even though they're not registered with us. This is like a weird, like, internationally educated professionals case type thing.
Yeah.
And Daenerys is like, okay, well, we can't stop them from doing this work because they need to eat and they need to work, but no one can call themselves a journeyman or master until they're actually registered with you, but you have to let them register as long as they have the skill, which is a good decision. Okay, moving on. Then comes Hisdar Zolorak. This guy is persistent, if anything. And he's still got his same thing, like, let me open the pits. And there's been, like, a lot of everybody around her seems to urge her to do the same thing, because they're like, oh, it'll please the gods, it's what the people want, and all of those things. Barristan suggested that they do a tourney instead. But, which is, yeah, which kind of, okay. What am I trying to say? So we've seen some of these tourneys play out, and they're not as friendly as, like, Barristan
they are in Dany's mind.
Yeah, like, Barristan's like, yeah, nobody gets hurt in a tourney. No, lots of people get hurt in a tourney. So first of that, but then also, she's like, that's not what the people of Meereen want. They want to see people, like, want to see bloodshed and all of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm not doing it. And this time, Hisdar has brought previous pit fighters. And these are, like, among the most famed of the fighters who were responsible for, like, so you know how, like, her people snuck in through the sewers to Meereen? They freed these fighters. These fighters led the uprising and won her city for her. So she owes them a debt, and she's like, I will hear you out. Okay. So then they make some good arguments. Like, I don't know what I would do in this situation either. I'm not even gonna try. But basically, what their big point is, like, if we're free, why aren't we free to fight? And she's like, well, if you want to fight for me. And they're like, well, we used to fight for masters, and now you want us to fight for you. What if we just want to fight for ourselves and for money and for glory and all of those things? Which is...
Yeah, and he's like, when I was a slave, I slept on furs and ate red meat off the bone. Now that I'm free, I sleep on straw and eat salt fish where I can get it.
Yeah.
So who are you to tell me that I'm better off?
And apparently Hisdar has promised them half of the earnings from the fights, like at the gates of the arenas. So, like, they're gonna be compensated well for this. And Daenerys is like, sure, like, anybody who wins and lives will get a share of that, but what about the people that die? And they're like, well, they'll be what's the word?
Like, remembered? Honored?
Yeah, honored, and their name will be, like, written in history instead of just, like, not being remembered at all. Like, we're all gonna die, but at least let us die in glory. And that's their basic argument. And Daenerys is like, okay, well, I will think about it. Like, the same thing as Jon, like, I will think about it and I'll get back to you.
If it's truly what my people wish, do I have the right to deny it to them?
Yeah. To not get us in like an ethical quandary, let's just not go the what would we do route, because I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do either. I think she's going in the right direction. Like, I'm glad she's not just, like, dismissing them. Yeah. But I guess I also just worry about this guy kind of manipulating them, and then like, I just worry about...
these are, like, the people who have been, like, who are the prominent fighters, like, they've been
these are
winning.
Like these celebs.
Exactly. So, like, they're confident that they will likely win these matches. Who are they fighting against? Like, how are people just gonna, like, you know how like with a I was about to say things. Uh, like people join like the military and stuff just because it's like the like some people join it because that is genuinely what they want to do. But a lot of times people join it because it's like the only fiscally available option to them. You know? So then are they really like making a choice? Because if they're like, oh, I can die, or I can just die, starve and die, or I can fight and maybe I'll die, or maybe I'll earn some money. Like then you get into these gray areas and
yeah, because the pushback from the city really has just been like in different ways trying to return back to the status quo. So it's like if we're just gonna end up in the same place, then yeah.
So then that's the end of her audience. She goes back to her room. Barristan is there, and she's like, "Tell me a happy story. Tell me about how you got away from the usurper." And she's like, well, first off, I ran. It wasn't really like a happy story or anything. God. But we learned like the details of this. I don't think we knew the details, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think we heard like he killed some people on his way out or something, but we didn't really hear all the details. So he went to pack up, but then he was like, I can't go to my cousins because they'll also be on Joffrey's bad side if I go to them. And so I gotta like leave and find the true king, which he thought at that time was Viserys.
Yeah. LOL.
Yeah. And he basically fights his way out of the city. There's like a bunch of people he has to kill, and it's all very heroic and whatever. But then he sneaks back into the city under disguise, and he actually is there to witness Ned's death, which Shocking. We did not know.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah. And Daenerys is like, well, he deserved to die. But Barristan is like, actually, he was not a bad dude. He didn't want to kill you or your kid when Robert wanted to do it. And instead, he chose to give up his position rather than send somebody to kill you. And she's like, oh, but what about my brother's kids? And he's like, that's Lannister people. And she's like, oh, it's the same thing. And I'm like, Dany, first off, if you ever get to Westeros, but if you ever want to like rule in Westeros, you can't just be lumping people together.
Yeah, we gotta keep our grudges separate from our rulings.
Yeah, like, she cannot hope to rule Westeros without the support of these houses. Or, like, completely eviscerating these houses and then, like, the support of whoever's in those places. I mean, for the Starks, it's mostly been done for her, but, you know. But also, we've talked about how, like, that seems to be the case, but there's really a lot more Starks around than we think. But they just aren't together and in power in the same way. So that's the story. He's trying to, like, advocate for Ned, but she is not wanting to hear it. And she's like, the guilt applies to all, and then like thinking of guilt reminds her of the little girl Hosea, who was burned by Drogon, and then she remembers her dragons and she wants to go to them. So she goes all the way down to the pit below her pyramid, and we learn that she has chained up Rhaegal and Viserion. The two dragons that did not actually burn a baby. This is not the action consequence, you know?
Yeah.
So, this is so sad, because they, like, you know, like, Rhaegal or Viserion tries to fly to her, but then gets, like, choked by his chains, and it's just so sad, and then you hear about how they had to literally, like, drag... Was it Rhaegal, like, one of them down the stairs because it just, I don't like this.
Yeah, it's tough.
What did you think of this decision?
I don't know. I get it, though, because, like, you just don't know. Like...
Yeah, but also, so she's talking to Barristan about, like, dragons never stop growing as long as they have enough food and space to do it, but now they're in this, like, constrained space, and like it's gonna
Yeah.
very likely stunt their growth. Like
Yeah, I don't
train
know.
them, don't imprison them.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, all the
yeah.
time she spends like on not useless rulings, but like she could have somebody.
Yeah, that's what we told. Yeah, because that was our whole plan for her last time. Like, I was very disappointed that she didn't do what we told her to do. Which, yeah, was like, okay, get a hold of them and like go figure your shit out as a family is basically what we were saying. Like, because even what was it last chapter when the guy was like, you need to. What's it called when you give some people your work so that you don't have to do all of it? Delegate.
Oh yes.
You need to
Okay,
delegate.
sorry. I was yeah.
No, it's okay. So it was like she needs to, yeah. And like, I don't think this is best case scenario, but like, if she's not training them, I do get that she's not just like letting them loose, but it's definitely not the best option.
Yeah, like here's the thing. She can delegate her like queenly duties to some extent, right?
Mm, yeah.
Like have people like make a summary of the thing so that she can quickly read the memo at the end of the day to make sure that the rulings are in alignment with whatever she wants to happen. You know, give them like general directions, and then like it's like, this is our ruling pending the queen's approval, and you'll get that on the morrow, you know, something like that. So at night she spends like a couple hours going through the decisions and like, oh, this is good, this is not, or whatever, like she can have it her way. But then like training the dragons, no one else can do that. Literally no one else can do that. They won't even let them get close.
Yeah.
That is not a job she can delegate. So
yeah.
she needs.
No, I agree. I don't know. I don't know if it's like the like someone's gonna betray, people are gonna betray me thing, or what it, or she's just not good at this job yet because she hasn't done it
Also,
for very long. But like,
once again, 16. Just, but I gotta keep bringing that up because I get so frustrated, and then I'm like,
this 16-year-old
George R. R. Martin, why couldn't she have been 24? Like, how hard is it to just
Yeah, but then the plot would have to be completely different.
Not really.
Yeah, what would she have been doing all those years? Like, they just
like instead of being married off at 13, yeah, she gets married off at like 18 or something.
Sure. Yeah, I guess.
And I know, like, this is like a moot point because this is what it is, and also George R. R. Martin has himself expressed like remorse on the fact that he didn't age them up and all of that, but like 16. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just kind of have low faith in her right now.
Wow.
Yeah, like she could get her shit together, but she hasn't. So, yeah, like this definitely isn't good. Like, I feel like she's kind of just in this state of like guilt and remorse, but then she's not like doing anything with it. So, we're just kind of here. Because she just keeps reflecting on like, man, I let this happen, or like, man, my dragon did this. I should have seen it coming. It's almost like, yeah, it's like that same paranoia about like, you know, when she thinks about her family line and then she's like, am I doomed to be like this? She's kind of treating the dragons the same way, where she's like, well, they're dragons, so I should have known this was going to happen. And it's like, well, you could at least try not to make it happen before you succumb to it.
Exactly. It's like the inevitable that Jon Snow is also struggling with, like, I can't have friends, this is my inevitable lot in life. And she's also like, this is what dragons do, this is how life sucks. Like, this, and this is my biggest, like, struggle in dealing with people, is like, whenever somebody's like, complaining about something, and like it's not like once, like you complain, like we can complain, but like for example, one of my uncles, he doesn't like his job, complains about it all the time, has not made a single effort to change that. I don't want to hear about it. Like, I'm done hearing your complaints.
LOL.
So yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts. They're not doing anything to change things. But also, I guess they're doing their best. I don't know. I keep like being like, these are such babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think about all the stupid decisions I make in a day and all of those things, and then I'm like, who am I to be talking, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Dany, yeah, she's in denial. She's guilty. She's sad.
Denial.
Did not, yeah, like literally, when she's like, oh my god, he might have burnt her himself, and then he might have killed her and then burnt her, and I'm like, you, girl, are in a little thing we call denial. And she's like,
yeah,
but then she's like, no, that can't be the case, bruh. Like, I think she's just grappling, and I guess I just hope that after the grappling is done, she will come to her senses. But
yes, let's give people some context because they may not remember the chapter word for word. You're talking about the little girl Hosea, who was 4 years old, and how some of her advisors argued that he burnt his daughter himself. But she's like, well, if that was the case, he would have, like, you know, gone first and let everybody hear it. But he waited until the end, and he was like inconsolable and all of those things. So what the like resolution?
And someone was like, the Sons of the Harpy might have done it.
Exactly.
To make you look like a villain.
Yeah, all of that. So what the resolution was, you know, she's like, I'll pay you 10 times what we pay for no, not 10, 100 times what we pay for a lamb, because how do you put a price on a child's life? But then she proceeds to do so. And she's like, you can come to me every year, which I'm like, okay, first off, I thought you were only here for a couple weeks. Like, why are we talking years now?
Right.
But also, you can come to me every year, and your kids, all your other kids will be provided for. Just the only condition is basically he's signing an NDA. Do not tell anybody this happened.
This really sucked. I didn't like this.
Yeah. Also, Drogon, the one who did this, is still out and about. Like, how do you not know he's not going to do it again, like, tomorrow? And then, like, how many people are you going to have sign NDAs? And I feel like anytime anybody has, like, okay, I know NDAs serve, like, a legitimate purpose, and there's all these things, but anytime and anybody's like, NDA, I immediately... that person falls in my estimation, you know?
Right.
Because I'm like...
oh my god, you're shady if you're asking
exactly.
me to do this, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what this situation is, right?
Yeah.
Like, this felt so... like, I get it, but I just was like, oh, this is why I could never do something like this, because I think that would eat me up.
Okay, never do something like what?
Not like kill someone, like, oh guys, this is the reason I would never kill someone. Like, this is why I could never be like a queen, like,
right?
Because I would have to do shit, like,
I don't want to have this much power. I don't want to have any power. Just let me live my life in peace, okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't like. I feel like this is the kind of shit you would have to have on your conscience, and I just couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I could be like a little like servant at the palace, and that's kind of my you know, like, guilt level that I can have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I also, like, I also, like, not to, like, play devil's advocate, but maybe just for a second, because I also understand her not wanting to give anything over to her advisors, because she kind of, other than Barristan, all these people be shit.
Yeah.
Like, every single person being, like, instantly being like, let's cover it up, let's do this, or like, old man, you must have done this. Like, I don't like him. I don't like him. We kind of got her embarrassed.
Tyrion here ASAP.
Yeah. Right? And he's got the experience of hosting court.
And not that Tyrion hasn't made a few dubious decisions in his time, but generally
but I trust him more than, like, Resnack.
But also, like, it's once again an outsider coming to rule the people of Meereen, and
yeah, but we already have Dany, bro. That ship has sailed.
Like... yes, okay. Well, let's not go down this because it's just an absolute wormhole. Okay. So Yeah, she's like reminiscing about the good old days with her dragons, but she's like, I have kind of like unleashed these monsters on the world, because now she's like straight up thinking of them as monsters. I'm like, no, that's your doing because you're not training them, but also I know you don't have the time because you've got a city to run and all that. But basically,
Yeah.
her chapter ends with, I am guilt, and guilt is me.
Was I so blind, or did I close my eyes willfully so I would not have to see the price of power?
That's the end of her chapter. Predictions, like, I feel like the same as last time. Like, how are the. Okay. Okay. Drogon, is he gonna be up to no good again?
Yeah.
The two dragons, Rhaegal and Viserion, how are they gonna fare in the pits?
This is not good for them. This is gonna get them agitated and more likely to lash out and do shit. Not good. Not good.
Agreed. Okay, so she sent Hisdar. No, not Hisdar. What's his name? Dario. Sorry, there. I don't. That's not like, even
who
close.
Who the fuck is Hisdar?
Hisdar Zolorak, because he keeps showing up in every chapter, being like, "Let me open the pits."
Oh yes. Yeah,
Dario. She sent him to the Lazarine. Is he gonna be successful in getting allies for her?
I think so. I think he's charming.
Okay.
He's got our girl unable to think about anything else, so I hope he can charm his way into other stuff too.
All right. And
how old is this man?
I have no idea, but definitely older than Daenerys.
Okay, cool.
Because he's like a commander of the second, no, not the second sons, of the Stone Crows. Stone Crows?
I don't know.
It is called the Storm Crows. Okay, maybe? One of those things. I think the Stone Crows are a clan in the Vale, and the Storm Crows are, I think. Okay, doesn't matter. He's the head of like a sellsword company, and you need a few years to work your way up to that, usually.
Okay, hot.
Like this 30-year-old man and this 16-year-old child.
Hot because she wants to pursue it, bro. Bro, there's something about older men.
Not with 16-year-olds.
And he's not like 70, bro. Like, there's a difference.
Well, I don't know. He might be 70. I don't know.
I don't think he's 70.
Okay, well, then, on that note...
Stop side-eyeing me!
I can't...
I'm just being honest.
I can't get past this now. Predictions. Okay, her trying to quell the upset in the city.
Okay, I was like, where are you going?
It's getting so hard to like word.
Yes. How's it gonna work?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that the dragon stuff
How's it gonna
gonna
work?
get out.
I don't think so. Did you just the grammar?
Yeah, I did. I did say that. You know what I meant.
Is
like,
it gonna work?
I don't think so.
There you go.
Okay, she's gonna be like, whoa. Okay, so the people are gonna find out about Drogo boy, him.
Drogon.
Drogon. Then they're gonna, and also, the fighting pit stuff, she's probably gonna say yes to, and that's not gonna go well. And then the fucking, what else did she approve and say shit to? The people dying. People dying and shit. Oh, and they're also not happy that she's gonna get the Marine people to guard Marine instead of the Unsullied. I think people are just gonna generally kind of all be really mad at her.
So more deaths will continue?
More deaths, I think. And then those people are also coming, right? Like the people who were gonna come attack her.
Oh.
Or no, they were gonna go attack the other city first and then probably come on over.
Yes. Yeah, Young Kai is like kind of gathering forces against her overall. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Let's move on to next chapters.
Oh, you look excited.
Are
these your faves? some of your
I don't know what
faves?
to say, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay, so we're reading 2 chapters next time. Give me your thoughts and predictions.
Okay, I want to see Davos, and I want to see Tyrion.
Did you just say that because I'm excited and you're like, Davos is my favorite person, so obviously.
Yeah, it was an educated guess.
Okay, I like that. No, it's neither of those people.
Oh, LOL.
Okay, so we're reading chapters 12 and 13 next time. It's only 2 chapters, and it's actually pretty short chapters, like compared to these chapters at least.
Okay, cute.
But I think we'll have a lot to talk about, so like don't rush read them. Like actually give yourself like room and space.
Okay.
Room and space mean the exact same thing. I meant like time and space.
Hey, you just wanted to make sure my legs could stretch out, you know, room and then space mentally.
Okay, there you go. That works. Yeah, like mental space too. Oh, but okay, I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Chapter 12 is Reek.
No. There's no way.
Who is Reek?
Okay. Reek is the fucking, that was Ramsay in disguise, right?
Oh, yeah. Let me give you a little backstory. So, remember how Ramsay, like, killed Lady Hornwood, made her eat her own fingers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then Sir Roderick goes to hunt him down.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they kill Ramsay and bring back his servant, who's called Reek, as a prisoner. And then Theon takes over and frees Reek and like sends him out to get help, but turns out that Reek is Ramsay. Yeah. And then attacks Theon back. So Reek was the one who died, and Ramsay was pretending to be Reek. That's like the summarization.
Right. Yes. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
So who is Reek in this chapter?
Are we going back? 'Cause, like, did he... What? Okay, hold on, let me think.
Honestly, though, the fact that you remembered Reek, like Ramsay's servant, was really impressive.
Thank you. 'Cause I was like, when did I last hear that name? And then I was like, oh, that was like old Winterfell era.
That was
before we burned
2.
her down.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was older than I thought. Yeah. Wow. Winterfell's been gone for 2 books. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. Oh yeah, cause LOL, when Rob and Catelyn were talking and they were like, we'll get you married and then we'll go fix Winterfell. LOL.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, okay. LOL to hide the pain. It's a little antidote. Okay, Reek. So is Reek also alive and Ramsay's dead? Like, what the fuck is going on? Is this a flashback? Is he going on another undercover mission?
So like, say it's something around Ramsay, right? Yeah. What is Ramsay up to these days? Like,
I don't fucking know, bro. Oh, well, he's trying to get, like, the whole North, right? Like,
well, so the last time we heard about, like, the Boltons in general, right?
Yeah.
Was at the end of A Storm of Swords, beginning of Feast of Crows era, when fake Arya, remember, is being sent up to the North to marry Ramsay, and Ramsay has been made a Bolton, like legitimized through a royal decree by Tommen. So he's no longer Ramsay Snow, he's Ramsay Bolton, but also like he's apparently marrying Arya. But we know it's not Arya because like
fake Arya.
Because Jaime saw her and was like, this ain't no Arya. So,
oh my god.
Yeah, that was. So what do you think?
Okay, I think that, like,
if we're in that, you know, area of the world, and
I think that, Oh my god, I'm so confused. I think... Because it can't be a flashback, right?
I don't know.
That would be a completely new format.
Yeah, George has never done that before.
Yeah. So then is he going back under the Reek disguise to go do something?
Okay,
Why
and
would
what
he
might
need
that
to
be?
now?
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's kind of got everything now. Like, I don't know. Or maybe... Okay, wait, hold on. No, it can't be. Because I thought maybe it was like, it could be like Jacan or something, and maybe this is his most recent mission. But then all the missions we've seen him on have been after the Reek mission happened. I don't know. Okay, he's going back under disguise for something, but what the fuck does he need?
Okay.
Is he gonna, like, go yell at the phrase? Maybe he's go yell at them.
The phrase are his, like, family now, because remember Roose Bolton married
Maybe
Walder
he's
Frey.
worried about... Okay, I have a theory. Maybe he's worried about the Catelyn and the Broken Men and all of them, so maybe he's going to deal with them under disguise. Like, he's gonna pretend to be a broken man and get in.
So he's, like, leaving the North to go to the Riverlands to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got for you.
Sounds good. So that's chapter 12. Chapter 13 is Bran.
Oh, yay. Okay. Bran meets the three-eyed crow, and we finally figure out what the fuck is going on.
Okay. I like that very succinctly put prediction. So we have a couple emails to read. The first email is from Teresa. It's titled, I Caught Up. Sort of. Hi, Navan Harmouth. I wrote my first email to you in January when I was reading Clash of Kings with you, and I finally caught up with reading the series and simultaneously listening to your podcast. Except I didn't really. I'm now at the end of Feast for Crows, but I came to the episode where you read my email. That was fun. As if we're all time travelers trying to chat. Yeah, actually.
Wait, that's so cute.
Side note, because it's been half a year since I wrote in, I didn't remember writing my email at all. So when Nuv said we have an email from Teresa, I thought, how fun! This person has my name. So half a year ago, you asked me how much I hated Theon by the end of Clash of Kings. The answer is, I mostly pity him. Don't get me wrong, his blown-up ego is unbearable and his life choices are just the worst. However, he's just a boy who never really felt like he'd belong and desperately tried to impress literally anyone in which he was constantly failing. Maybe I'm being too sympathetic towards somebody who betrayed everyone that actually tried to believe in him. Well, Rob. Only Rob wanted to believe in him, and maybe Asha a little. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyways, I'm talking about somewhat more recent topics. Much like Harmouth was so looking forward to read the 5th book, I am too. And just like Harmouth, I'm equally anxious for the series to not continue. I can't say to end, can I? Sorry. Like, I'm equally anxious for the series to not continue after this one, and then, like, in between continue and after this one, there's I can't say to end. Well, it is still one hell of a ride to read the series, and listening to you two alongside it makes it even more enjoyable. So thank you for taking us listeners on this wild ride. This email is already quite long, but I have one last question/observation that I need to bring up. Have y'all ever noticed that Harmouth's Talk to You Later has the same rhythm as the first few bars of your intro/outro song? Da 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 da.
Wait, say that again?
Harmouth's Talk to You Later has the same rhythm as the first few bars in your intro-outro song.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I think they're slightly different.
They're slightly different, but they're close enough that I get what you're talking about.
Oh, wait, that's so cool.
Have you been unconsciously just, like, doing this? I guess that works out, because you say I talk to you later, and then we put in the thing, and then, like, listeners hear it all the time, but when we're recording, we don't necessarily hear it back to back, you know?
Yeah,
that is cool.
Talk to you later. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's like the difference of like a 16th beat.
Okay.
Like,
all right, music nerd.
oh my god,
Enough with you.
slay.
We'll say it's the same and move on.
No, that's cool. Oh my god, I guess I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if somewhere in the back of my mind it's been happening. I don't know. Wow, guys, I'm smarter than I thought I was.
Teresa says, I can't be the only one that noticed, right? Apparently you are, so...
Oh my god, you're so observant. What the heck? That's so cool. Oh my god.
Okay, that's enough now. I'm still late to the party and better get reading and listening to Dance with Dragons episodes to catch up for real. Take care and keep being awesome. Best wishes, Teresa. Hershey with a little chocolate emoji.
Oh, cute. Oh my god.
Okay, so what was there was a question in here somewhere,
Teresa.
right? Let me...
No, the question was, have you noticed that Harmit does this?
Oh, no, it's like, I'd love to hear your thoughts about Theon and whether we should pity him or hate him.
Oh, I see. Oh my god, I feel like it's been so long since we've seen Theon, I don't even remember. Like, I think back then I was like, he's so fucking annoying, bro. I think now, because we haven't heard from him in so long, I'm like, oh, poor Theon. But I think that's only because it's literally been years since I've had to read about him.
Yeah, also... getting hit at the head and potentially dying doesn't help your case as a character in this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So currently you're like, I don't have any feelings. Is your feeling?
Yeah, I think my feelings are just, I'm glad to be rid of him, unfortunately. But it is one of those things, I remember when all the events were going down, I was very sad that he was dead, because it was like, oh, now we have a greater foe. At least with Theon, it was like, this is just some Theon, like, even like, he was like, I would never hurt Bran, I would never hurt, like, even stuff like that. Like,
yeah, but I will totally skin and burn other kids.
Okay, shh, we take our wins where we can get them, okay?
Okay.
Ramsay killed all of them, okay?
Okay, well... Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah.
Lovely email. We're so glad. Hopefully you're listening to this one live, maybe. I don't know, because that was a little while ago, like a couple weeks ago. So maybe Teresa's caught up.
Okay. That's so cool. I love that you didn't remember, though, that you heard your name and you were like, who is this person? Who is Teresa?
Yes, that is cool.
That's so good. Oh my god, thank you, Teresa.
All right. Yes, next email. It is from Anna, and it is titled Timelines and Fandom Corrections. Okay.
Ooh.
So, dear Nav and Harmith, I hope you're both well. I don't know if you remember, but I'm the one who wrote to you sometime back about the fan essays. I do remember. I've been on the Discord a couple of times since then as well. You've all been so nice and welcoming. Thank you. Oh, so glad you're enjoying it.
Yay.
I'm so excited for you to cover Dance. I have so many thoughts and theories, but unfortunately, none of my IRL friends are particularly big fans of the series, so I don't really have anyone to talk to it about. Literally the reason I started this podcast. As a result of this, I might end up spamming your inbox a bit while you're covering it. I apologize in advance. Please. Please do. We love emails.
Please do it. Give the spam I want.
Also, sorry this turned out to be quite a long email as well, but I have a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. Firstly, as you've mentioned a few times, that the order of events is starting to get a little confusing with the jumping back in time and all that, I wanted to share this very thorough fan-made timeline that I came across secretly. Oh, not secretly. Recently. I think I was thinking about how we gotta keep this secret from you, Harmith, but then, read recently and then just smash them together.
Oh my god.
But
bro.
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet, and no, you cannot look at it.
Can you screenshot the first part and show it to me?
I have to, because it's not, chronological in terms of books, well, it's got things that you learn about later, but were happening before,
I see.
So, no?
Damn.
Oh, actually, I think I have come across this at one point in time, but then lost it to the void or abyss or something. So thank you for
You hurt
resharing
my
that. I'll
heart
put this
so.
like in the spoilers Discord again so that everybody can reference it.
Haters, y'all be preying on my downfall.
Yes, we really do enjoy it. Every time somebody's like, "Oh, I would give you," because when you ask like all these question of the weeks and people are like, "I have," but my real answer hasn't happened yet. So so then we go talk about it in the spoilers, and then it's fun.
You haters, you absolute haters.
So, Anna continues, they based it not only on the stretches of time directly described in the books, but also on stuff like the lunar cycle, approximate travel times, when a character knows what, and so on. While a lot of the exact dates, of course, are very hard to calculate, partially because keeping track of time and distances really isn't George R. R. Martin's strong suit, I personally think these guys have done a pretty good job piecing together at least pretty plausible timeline. Anyway, even though Harmouth obviously can't check it out just yet, I thought you might enjoy it, Nav, and maybe even be able to use it when poking holes in Harmouth's theories. Ooh, I like this. That is a very good use of this spreadsheet.
Y'all are such haters.
The other thing I wanted to tell you about is more just a fun fact regarding the previous John chapter, the one where Slint gets executed. It's a bit of fandom lore, and I think a rather fun instance of Martin as a gardener type of author. So, this is me talking myself. I did not know this. So, thank you, Anna, for sharing. This is brand new info for me, too. Now, I have to say, all this happened a long time before I joined the fandom myself, but here's what I've heard. This chapter was actually one of the preview chapters that were released quite a while before the full book came out. There was one crucial difference between the original form and how it ended up in the final product, though. In the preview chapter, John doesn't behead Janos Slint, he hangs him. While it was still, by all accounts, a very good chapter, this detail, of course, was met with outrage by the fandom. This is Ned Stark's son, after all. Well, supposedly. That's what it says in parentheses. If he's passing that sentence, he's swinging that sword. Also, it would fit much better with that bit of foreshadowing from the Sansa chapter. That's the one I read out loud to you. In the end, Martin agreed that this was a better way of doing it and changed the last few pages of the chapter before the book was published, but he still kept the part with the hanging in as an Easter egg for the fans.
Oh,
so that's cool.
Wait, that's so fun.
It's a little bit of fan pandering that I enjoy.
Yeah, because then when he starts and he's like, let's hang him, and then he doesn't. And then he...
Anna continues, personally, I just think it's a really sweet story of the fandom getting to impact the very thing they love so much. And for me, it's one more reason to appreciate what, in my opinion, is already just a damn good chapter. I mean, Ed, fetch me a block. Iconic. Also, I definitely agree with Nav on this one. This is peak Jon Snow hotness. Thank you, Anna.
That's so funny.
Lastly, I know you said you will have to record a good chunk of the episodes ahead of time, so there might be a delay with the emails. I just wanted to ask if we have any theories and such that you might find interesting, but which pertain to some particular chapters. Should we send them in advance, or would you rather wait and talk theories in the wrap-up episode? Okay, so here are my thoughts on this. We may not read reading them out in the chapter, like on that podcast, might happen at some point, but I'll read them as they come in. So if you want to talk about a specific chapter, put that chapter number and title in the subject line, so I know. Right?
No, I know what you're saying, but they're asking if they have a theory for chapter 43, should they send that now, or should they just do it when the episodes are coming out?
I say you can do it either way, but if you do want to send it now, just put the chapter number there so that we talk about it when we get to that chapter. Yeah. And that way I can
So you're saying if they're sending it in advance, make it easier for you to keep track of it.
But here's the thing, any emails we don't get to read along with the podcast, as we're recording, we will read at the end as a big wrap-up episode, or multiple wrap-up episodes and all of that. So your email will always get read, but if you think it's more impactful to talk about it when it's happening, then just send it now and put like what chapter it is, and then I'll make sure that we read it then. Good plan?
Yeah. So I guess the answer is, if you really want it included when we get to that chapter,
yeah, send
then
it
do it
then,
now.
because, well, we'll be honest, we haven't gotten as far ahead as we had hoped, so we're gonna work on that. Okay, we're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
But it is, yeah, our plan is still to get ahead, because that's the only way it's gonna work. Okay, so anyway, once again, sorry for rambling on in your inbox, but definitely can't promise it won't happen again. This is just such a good book. No need to apologize. Please ramble as much as you need or want or can. Like, just, yeah. All the best from Denmark, Anna. Hershey, like the chocolate.
Oh my god. Oh my god, thank you, Anna. That was so fun.
Yeah, there are lots of good information in these emails. Thank you so much for sharing, folks. And hope you enjoyed this episode, but I know I'm looking forward to the next episode. But also, I not that I didn't like this episode, but you know, the ones who know.
So okay. I literally, what the hell does Reek mean? I'm so confused, bro. Who the fuck is this boy, and what is he up to?
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh my god, wait. Just before we wrap up, I have a crackpot
theory. Not a crackhead theory.
Remember? I used to make these all the time, but then somewhere along the way,
every theory was just so crackpot that you were like, I don't need to label it.
I guess, yeah. Okay, but shout out, throwback, crackpot theory. Okay, it's, okay, Reek took over Ramsay, like, okay, wait, Ramsay's the one who died.
And Reek is pretending to be Ramsay, but won't his dad know that it's not Ramsay?
I don't think his dad will know, because remember, his dad wasn't, like, he only started noticing his son after he, like, did the things.
So we've got a fake Arya marrying a fake Ramsay. It's a very fake wedding.
Exactly. We've got an opportunist, and I also have another crackpot theory, and you're gonna find out why it's crackpot instead of just a theory. It's that we're gonna love Reek.
Okay.
We're gonna love Reek.
It's gonna be like a Jamie, like we hate him, and then we get his chapters, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Okay, another one of our problematic faves then.
Exactly.
Okay, I like this. Well, folks, keep sending us emails. We will read them. We read every email. We will respond to them, all of that. And what was the question? No, yes, go to the Discord. Oh, and tell us all the things, like, what about Stannis burning Mance, and what should Daenerys do, and all of those things, you know? Tell us.
The fun things.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is @PopCultureSymposium. And until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.